the live system because Sammy, the page, and Kitty Martz and I did a live last night um, from 9:05 to 10:05. Hey, NeuroD, and that live that we did last night, I can't find. Sammy can't find. Samantha Page can't find. Um, Autumn was able to see it. Rose was able to see it last night. She watched the whole live after the fact. Um, I can't find it in my published section, in my scheduled section, in my draft section, in my podcast section. I can't find it anything anywhere on the dashboard. Um, Sammy can't find it anywhere on her dashboard. Um, I happened to pull it up right before I started this live, because I hadn't refreshed the page, and it still had an invite link. So I did view stream page, and it pulled up the video. So I have the video sitting up, open, and ready to play. It's on pause. I just don't know how to find a way to get it to publish. So we really want that video published because Kitty Martz was a great interview and a great person to have on. Kitty Martz works in Oregon and nationally with gambling harm, as she states. She doesn't like to use abstinence or addiction or anything like that, but gambling harm and reduction, and harm reduction, so on and so forth, which is really a great idea. And excuse me, that goes to say, she was on the show last night, and then after that part ended, when Kitty and I left the show, I popped back in, and it was the part where Sammy was explaining about what was going on with Autumn Rose. So if y'all were in that live last night, then you saw that. The problem is I can't find it, and I really want to publish it. And I know Sammy wants to publish it too, and I know Autumn wants to publish it, and I know Kitty wants to publish it. It was an all-around great show. So if anybody has any ideas on how to find a show that we did last night live, we did it from 9:05 p.m. Eastern, 6:05 p.m. Pacific, and it ran to like 10:15, maybe 10:20 last night. So I really am trying to figure out how to get this video. It's thrown me for a loop. It's thrown Sammy for a loop. It like the thing about it last night, it said it was processing, and it said 19 minutes. So I waited for about 45 minutes, and it still said 19 minutes. So what I did was I pulled up YouTube and found a screensaver that would run for like 12 hours. And so I opened that screensaver, let the computer stay up, let the laptop stay up, and went to bed. And what I did at that point was I just went to bed. I let it run all night so it could go ahead and process the video. When I came back today, the video was gone. It was nowhere to be found. It didn't say it was processed. I couldn't find it anywhere. Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where it went or how I can find it. It's annoying to me. It's really annoying. But let me just tell y'all what's coming up. I was supposed to do something. Well, I thought I was going to do something with Brandon and Sturge today. Brandon and Jerry, or Sturge. But I haven't talked to Sturge, and I haven't talked to. I talked to Brandon briefly. I know Brandon may be doing a live with Wendy today. But I was thinking that we were going to do Brandon, Sturge, and I do our live today. I don't think we're going to get to that because we haven't really talked about it. We talked about it in mid last week, but didn't really follow up. So we'll probably get to that next week sometime, or even later on in this week. But next Sunday, I will be on Samantha Page's show again, filling in for Autumn Rose. And if you haven't heard about Autumn Rose and what's going on with her, I will just do a quick update. She has stage 4 cancer. She is currently in the ICU. Yeah, so she is sedated, or they're giving her a lot of, good medication to keep her pain at bay for the most part. Um, it's in her lungs, and yeah, I it spread. So I'll leave that for the rest. But she has stage 4 cancer. She is in the ICU. Sammy is with her. Sammy is her best friend, and they are best friends and ride or die bitches. So everybody extend warm wishes to Autumn Rose. However you do, whether you pray, light candles, anything else. For her to get better, or for her to have a peaceful, a peaceful crossing, whichever may happen. She's going to fight it. She's a fighter. So, we don't want to get all maudlin yet. But it is a serious issue. But yeah, so, those two are ride or dies. So, let's also keep Sammy in our thoughts, Samantha Page, as she is with Autumn Rose. The, but yeah, so next Sunday I will be with Sammy, Samantha Page, and we will be doing movie, like a movie, and the movie's going to be Boy Meets Girl. Boy Meets Girl is on Hulu. It's an indie movie that came out in 2014 or 2015, I think, one of those years. And it is it's a pretty cool little movie. If you haven't seen it, go to Hulu and look up Boy Meets Girl. It's about an hour. I don't know if it's an hour 45 minutes or an hour like 30 minutes. It's really short. It's not like a 3-hour movie. And the movie goes by really quickly. So I won't tell you anything about it, but this is the movie we're going to discuss next Sunday. So if you want to watch it, go ahead and go to YouTube. Yeah. Oh, no, you can't find it? No. I don't know where it went. We really don't know where it went. It just disappeared. Um, I don't know if being shadow banned has anything to do with it. I don't know if that's the case. It was published from Sammy's page and not mine, but she did tag me, so it usually does pop up on my page as well. And thank you, Luca. I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that people are thinking about her. Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, so we are going to discuss Boy Meets Girl. It has Michelle Henley in it, who is the star. And Michelle Henley, if you don't know who Michelle Henley is, what's her name? Sarah McBride was asked, about having a movie made about her life, and she was like, "Oh gosh, whatever." And then they asked her who she would like to play herself, and she did say Michelle Henley. So that may give you a hint as to the nature of the movie. Maybe not, like, it's just a broad hint. It's like it doesn't give the movie away, and it doesn't. It just tells you maybe the subject matter of the movie. Very broadly. See, what I'm trying to do is not give anything away, because I want people to actually watch it. It is a good movie. Well, I think it's a good movie. I've watched it. Well, so I'm kind of a creature of habit. I tend to watch the same things over and over. So one of those movies is Bottoms, is on Prime right now, and it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it's not at all what you think it's going to be. So go in with an open mind. Um, it's called Bottoms, and it's on Prime. And then I watch Imagine Me and You, which is on Prime as well. Imagine Me and You is a love at first sight movie with about two women who fall in love at first sight type of thing. But one woman is getting married that day. As she's walking down the aisle, she sees this woman, and then it goes on from there. Um, so that's Imagine Me and You, and that is also on Netflix. No, not Netflix. Whoa, on Prime. Noah's Ark, which is what I watch a lot too, is one of the very first, and I do think it's probably the first TV series um, to deal with black gay men in West Hollywood. So the series is set in West Hollywood, and Noah is the main character, and the show revolves around him and his life and love life. And like I said, it's a show about black gay men. So you know, we don't have that in TV landscape now. What they've been doing with Noah's Ark is they've made a couple movies. They made another movie last year that came out last year, and I watched half of it, but then I stopped because I had to do something else and just haven't gotten back to it. So the all the movies and the TV shows are on Prime. It is called Noah's Ark. It is a really good show. I think if you want something that is about a black cast, a black queer cast, then that's a show you can check out. Um, let's see what other. Okay, so then of course I watch Gilmore Girls at least 2 hours a day, every day, and the only day I missed, and the only day I've missed in the last many, 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 many years. Um, well, let's see. I did travel, so um, except for travel, um, I've missed I think one day, and that was when I had my FFS, um, and I missed that day. I was in the hospital that night, and then we came home, and Egg put Gilmore Girls on for me. I couldn't see because I was blind. My eyes had swollen shut, but I could hear it. So and that was comforting. Like I guess Gilmore Girls is my comfort show. Um, it's like a nice, um, comfy blanket. So I watched that. I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, of course. I haven't watched it. I started to rewatch, but I haven't finished it. I think I'm on season. Oh yes, I'm on season 6, episode 2. Because I just watched The Gift, and The Gift is season 5, last episode for Buffy, when Buffy jumps and dies. Um, but that was supposed to be the end of the series. But UPN picked it up for another 2 seasons. Um, if it had ended on season 5, that would have been a great ending. A lot of people do not like season 6 and season 7 of Buffy. I don't like all the sex in season 6. I think it's gratuitous. You, you know, I think that like they hit upon Spike being this shirtless wonder and milked it for all it was worth. Um, I don't know. Like, there's another something I want to talk about. Like, okay, so rape scenes in movies, um, TV series, that shit. Like, I don't really see why it has to be on a TV show. or on a movie. Like, do we really need to see this? I think no. I think no. I would really hope that people would stop using that kind of graphic violence on film. I don't think there's a reason to do it. Um, I can't think of one good reason to do it. I can't think of one good reason. Like, if you're going to say, well, life imitates art, art imitates life, no, we don't. We know it happens. We don't need to see it on screen. At least I don't. I should say. I don't know. I don't know if anybody feels the same way as I do. I just can't. I just can't get down with that. So things like, and I'm thinking of one specific show right now. I'm thinking of Game of Thrones. I haven't seen it, and just because that was never my type of show. And so, but Egg has seen it, and we've talked about the scenes, and it's just it's it's problematic, very problematic to me. Um, yeah. But yeah, so we will be talking about Boy Meets. Oh, like going back to the things I watch. I want to watch Heartstoppers. I've seen the first season of Heartstoppers. So I think there's two more out right now, and then there's a fourth one coming out. Yeah, and if you don't know Heartstoppers, that's on HBO, not HBO, on Netflix, and Netflix, yeah, it's called Heartstoppers. It's about, well, I won't tell you what it's about. Once again, like most of these shows, uh, it does have, it is a queer romance, a gay romance between two boys. And when I say boys, I mean, I think they're boys. It's like school kids, like first love and all this good stuff. One of the good things about it is that it doesn't feature any like violence on on main characters, for being queer. Um, some people argue and say that uh, that's not how life goes, and that may be true. But can we not just have something that is not chock filled with violence? Um, I don't watch violent shows. Like the most violent type of stuff I watch is like Buffy, like anything, and that's not even really violent. It's kind of campy. So if it's like campy violence or campy horror, campy murder and guts stuff like that, I can watch. I don't watch like action adventure movies for the most part. I don't watch horror movies ever. Um, Unless like now the one exception to that is I do watch vampire movies. So I did watch AMC's Interview with a Vampire, and the movie, and any type of vampire shows that come on. I have not seen Sinners yet, um, and I think I will hop on and see it at some point. I'm a little concerned with if it's more violent than I'm ready for. I've heard that it is vampires. So, oh, you love Game of Thrones? Okay, Zelda. Oh, by the way, Zelda. Hi. Yeah, Game of Thrones. Egg loves Game of Thrones too. She's actually watching the other one, the whatever one spinoff was. The spinoff is that's on right now, House of Dragon or something like that. I don't know what it's called. But she's watching it right now. And yeah, so Egg likes that stuff. She likes murder. She likes mayhem. She likes like true crime. But so I'm just worried that she could find a way to kill me and bury me, and they will never find the body. Uh, let's see. So Sinners was really good. A little violent. Okay, yeah. So I love musicals. I love musicals. If it has any kind of cool music in it, I love it. Um, I If it's only a little violent, then maybe I can handle it. It does have vampires, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I know that it's been around for a minute, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. Um, and So there are some other movies I want to watch. The problem is when I think about watching a movie that I really want to watch, and I go to the movie, I turn it on, something kind of triggers, and I turn it off, and I go back to Gilmore Girls. Um, it's like a safe show, you know. I can't uh, break the habit of watching some, and it's like Egg makes fun of me all the time because I don't watch new things. And I want to. I have a whole laundry list of shows that I want to watch that I haven't. Um, I just can't seem to break away from Gilmore Girls or any of my safe shows, Bottoms, Buffy, Noah's Ark. Uh, um, Let me see if there are any more. Bottoms, Buffy, Noah's Ark, Gilmore Girls, How It's Made. Interestingly enough, we do watch How It's Made a lot, even though we've seen all the episodes before. We watch them again because like they're like 24 seasons, maybe more. Um, so, we can watch from like I think they have season 14 um, on Netflix, not Netflix, on HBO Max. I think it's season 14. Maybe it's a little bit season 12. I don't know. But so that's one of the shows we'll put on when we leave the house and we don't want Nick to feel so alone. So we'll put on How It's Made. Also because it will stay on the whole time. It won't stop playing. So we know that we have a good 3 to 4 hour clearance just in case, and we don't leave Nick's home for more than like 5 hours. He's a tiny dog. He's a pug, and he has a puppy bladder. So 5 hours is probably the longest we've left the house with him alone. If it's any longer than 5 hours, we have to board him or bring him with. And bringing him with is usually not good because Bestie is where we would usually be going. And Bestie, Mish, has 2 dogs that are the same age. Like our dogs are the same age because they're pandemic pups. We got them at the same time. She got 2 dogs, and we got a pug like 3 weeks later. So her dogs are medium sized. They just have bigger teeth than Nick's. And Nick's has to wear a muzzle, not because he's vicious or anything like that, but because he will eat rocks and glass and sticks and holly leaves and anything like that. And we've already been down that road. He did that once before, punctured his small intestine. And We had to have exploratory surgery and then surgery to, of course, patch up the holes and fix the intestine. And then, we had surgery for his nose. It's called Nair's surgery. So we put for his Nair's to kind of open the passageway. Brachycephalic dogs have the smushed in face. So sometimes they'll have to have surgery on their nose. Yeah, so yeah, Nix is a great dog though. He's been fun. The one thing Nix has that it's kind of funny. Crohn's disease, which is inflammatory bowel disease. Along, the other inflammatory bowel disease is ulcerative colitis, and I think they also throw in colitis with that. Um, but I have Crohn's disease, and Nix, my dog, has Crohn's disease. And I have pica, which is the need to eat things that are not food. And I don't, it's yeah, I do. I haven't eaten non-food items in a long time. That's because I'm not my anemia is under check under check. Like I'm not anemic, so that's good. When I become anemic, it's easy to tell because I will start eating not ice anymore, but like paper. And That's my main jam. It's paper. Yeah. So, um, but Nix eats rocks and glass and sticks and seeds and whatever he can find his little little mouth on. So we muzzle him, and he looks like a little mini Darth Vader. But it's not for, and we can't have him around other dogs because he has to have his muzzle on and he can't protect himself. So, um, the last time we did that, it was a mistake. He got really scared. One dog got really aggressive, and so we decided we wouldn't do that anymore, and we haven't. Um, Nix is not a good car rider either. He's not good on taking trips in the car. He gets really nervous, and his anxiety runs really high. Um, he also has anxiety. He has anxiety. He has um, yeah, he of course has separation anxiety. So whenever we leave, he starts crying, which is really sad and really bad. We hate to leave him, um, but it's good because Egg works from home, and I used to not work from home, but I don't work anymore. So now that I'm home, I can hang with Nix, and because Egg is not working from home this week. She's working from somewhere else. As a matter of fact, she's not going to be home at all this week. So we chat by, whatever, like FaceTime or Messenger, whatever like that. Um, but yeah, I won't see her this week. Oh, so I have the place to myself, me and Nix, which sucks because that means I just have to take care of Nix all day. Usually, what happens is I take Nix out in the mornings, and Egg takes out the last half of the day. So the first half of the day is mine. The last half of the day is hers. Because she's not going to be here this whole week, I get the first and the last half of the day. Yay! So one of the things I have, taking the dog out in the morning. So Nix gets up no later than 7:30. So it's usually between 5:30 and 7:30. He starts moving around and starts yammering to get up and use the bathroom to go outside. So that's, I just get up when he gets up, and it's so for the last 7 years. And actually, we had a dog before this, so for the last let's see, Sebastian lived until he was 11. So seven for the last 18 years, I have been getting up, between 5:30 and 7:30 every morning to take him out. Now, to be fair, I've missed like 4 or 5 days this whole time, and Egg is taking him out. And what this means now when she's not here is that I have to take him out every 2 to 3 hours. Like really, the most that we can wait for him before he wants to go to the bathroom is probably 3 hours. And that's cutting it. So we want to get him out within 2.5 hours, and yeah, so it's the schedule. Like if you don't have a backyard, it's like having to walk a dog is like the I'm tired of it. I really am tired of it. But I love Nick. So, and the other thing, the main thing though, is that I cannot get a cat until Nick's crosses. So, I've already put the timetable on Nick's crossing, but it's more of a joke than anything. But now it's like to see if I'm close to the year. I've pulled a year in a month. I won't say anything about it here online but in live. But I do have a year and a month that Nick's will cross, and I wrote this down probably a year ago. So we'll see how close I am to it. I just have a feeling. So yeah. Anyway, after that, there will be a cat, and I can't figure out what kind of cat to get. Like, do I get an orange cat, a gray, a tuxedo, a calico? I don't know. Um, a black cat, of course, classic. Um, and so we had a tuxedo and a gray cat, and they were both wonderful. And we had Torty, all at the same time. We had three cats at the same time. Three cats and one dog, 3 cats and one dog. And it was in a small space, so it was kind of crazy. We won't do that again, but I feel like this next cycle, we're either gonna have 2 cats or a cat and a dog. Um, Egg is dog energy. She's dog energy. I am cat energy. Um, but and I love dogs. I'm dog energy too. I'm basically any kind of animal. We had a chinchilla. We've had all kinds of different animals. Um, the only thing with the chinchilla is that we were moving down to South Florida, and we didn't want to take it because of the heat. Um, and now that I'm thinking about that, I'm wondering if that was the reason, because I think, if I remember correctly, chinchillas do well in the heat, or maybe they don't, and that's why we couldn't take Anyanka, which is what our chinchilla's name was, Anyanka. If you don't know the name Anyanka, it's from Buffy, the character Anya. That is her real name, Anyanka. We've had. I named my first cat after a friend. My first cat's name was Anna, and then we had Spike, William the Bloody from Buffy, and he was in Tuxedo, and we had Drusilla, which was the gray cat. The Spike and Drusilla came together. Egg was like, I'm gonna go to the store and look at the cats. I was like, cool, 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 And she came home with 2 cats, Spike and Drusilla. And I was like, okay, okay, But so she was like, okay, so you cannot pull what I did. And I was like, turnabout is fair play. I really do want to do that. I want to get 2 cats, but I have to remember that we do insure our pets, because if we luckily we had insurance for Nyx, and we had the insurance before it happened. Because if you get insurance after the fact, it will always be put as a not preventative anymore. Diagnostic, no, whichever one it is. Like like with a colonoscopy, if you like, for me with the colonoscopy, my first colonoscopy was preventative, and I think like you get a colonoscopy every 5 years after a certain year or something like that. But I got my first colonoscopy at 26, and every colonoscopy after that I've had to pay for, because because I have a known disease. I have a known disorder, so I don't get I don't get any free colonoscopies anymore, which sucks. But a lot of times my colonoscopies fall when I've hit my max out of pocket for my insurance. So everything, like I hit that back in May. Everything that I get from May on is free, and I mean, well, free insurance pays for it, and that means like all my medication I haven't paid for it since May, and I get a lot of medication, and like my medication is like, seriously, it's a grip. It's like $500 all in total, maybe more. But I get it all free right now. Doctor's visits free. So surgeries, doctors' surgeries would be like surgeon's fees. So if I do want any kind of surgeries, I can get them now. Hey, Joe, thanks for coming in. But I went from Nyx to surgery. I don't know how I did that. And like my mind is just a wonderful and terrifying thing at times. But yeah, I'm still flummoxed over this video. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at my dashboard, and I'm stupefied. I don't know where it went. Yeah, like I said, let's talk a little bit about what's her name? Egg. Egg is gone. She is Bestie Mish Mish is out of town. She is out of town on work duty, and so we are watching Mish Mish's house, and her girls, which are like our girls. They're wonderful. And so we are watching. Like I will go over there on Thursday and watch the girls while Egg has to come back here. So she will be back here on Thursday, but only for a little bit, and then she'll turn around and go back, and then she'll pick up the girls because they have school camp, they have camp and volleyball, all this good stuff. Yeah, some good stuff. So Egg is busy, and I like that. It leaves me to be able to do whatever I want throughout the day. So if I want to smoke weed around the house, I can smoke weed around the house. Usually I'm confined to this room right here, which is fine because this room that you see behind me is my room. Although it has some of Egg's stuff in it. That bear mask, all you see that bear mask and everything back against this wall is Egg stuff, with the exception of my base, and the flag, and of course. But so my altar and stuff is over here. Autumn Rose's candle, which has been lit, for like 5-6 days now, is lit, and I will light another one when this goes out. And my altar and stuff is over here too. So this is the stuff you can't see off to the side, but it's got it contains my altar, and this room is like sealed and locked in terms of energetically. So there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Nobody really comes in here with the exception of Egg and people I invite to come in here. Even people who, so I live in an apartment first of all. So there are times where I can't help for people to come in here, but I have, as they, they say they're gonna do like, what do they call them? Like yearly inspections. They still have never come into this room. One person tried to come in this room while I was away, but we have cameras. And once I saw him open this door, I was like, that threw my camera. I was like, stop. And the motherfucker jumped so high in the air. And he was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. But I need you not to go in that room because at that time I was working some stuff, and I didn't want anything to be messed up. Everything was where it needed to be, and energetically, and divination wise, and altar wise. I just didn't want anybody to touch anything. And so Egg knows not to touch any of this. This is, my spirituality is a little bit different than hers. Not a little bit different than hers. It's very different than hers in that she doesn't, I'll let her tell her spirituality. She doesn't really jam on it. I do, but it's different. I practice, Ifa, although I will probably make my way away from Ifa and work more in a contained setting, like just by myself, basically. Go back to working like by myself. Like Ifa is from Nigeria, so it's been around for thousands of years. It's not something that is written in books, so it's not like, oh, to fly a broomstick, okay, let's read Silver Ravenwolf. It's not like that. It's an oral tradition that's passed down from generation to generation to generation. And it's a divination system, Ifa, and it is a philosophy. It involves maths, it involves astronomy and astrology. It involves divination, of course. It involves sacrifices, both flowers and fruits. It involves Orisha, and Orisha are like deities. The Orisha. So when you hear the Orisha, you may think of someone like Yemaya or Oshun, Oya, Sango. These are all Orisha. Obatala, Olukun, these in Orunmila. Yeah. So these are all the Orisha, and the Orisha represent dynamic forces. within ourselves and without ourselves and outside of ourselves. So like Oya is the dynamic force of storms, of winds, of transformation, of fast transformation, quickly sweeping out what lies in your path so that something new can come. You know, um, Oya is the protector of children. She's a fierce protector of children, women, um, divine feminine. The divine feminine is Oshun. She is the sweet waters that run through life. She is invoked and used and praised, for women who, and when I say, first of all, it's fertility. So if I say fertility, yes, the first thing you would think of is children, and that is true. But then, fertility in anything, fertility and abundance. She is also Oya and Oshun are river deities. So river Orisha. Yemaya is an ocean Orisha. So when I say things like sacrifice, I will go to the river because if you know, there's the Chattahoochee River is like right outside of my apartment complex. I can actually walk down the woods and run right into the Chattahoochee River. There's a walking path that goes, 3.5 miles along the Chattahoochee River. And so I can go to the Chattahoochee River. I take like fruits and flowers, honey, sugar, um, a candle, and I will do like a 20-minute meditation, recite some verses, some of Oriki. Oriki is like are their praise verses for your particular Orisha. So in saying all this, okay, so I'm crowned Oya and Oshun. And what that means is that I'm initiated um, through Oya and through Oshun. And so I do sacrifices. Now, the sacrifices I don't do, um, and the reason why I'm probably going to step away from this is because there is animal sacrifice. Um, and, while that concept sounds foreign to Westerners, like American people, like United States people. Um, in other countries, it is not taboo. It is seen as life force, as ashe. So, it is something. There is something called ebo, and you have to. It's a prescription for what is going on in your life. So you come to a Baba or an Ianafa and you lay out these problems that you're having. They will do some divination and come up with um, ooh, a, oh my God, come up with um, an Odu. I'm sorry, thank you. I was just like had a brain fart. So Odu, like there are 16 major Odus, and these like the Odus you can figure they're like I won't say laws, but more like explanations. So the major 16 give out explanations about life and how to settle certain issues. And those 16 come out to a total of 258. And then I think even more. Like there's like there, and these are just the main Odu. And then like there are pathways off of each Odu that that have you perform Ebo. And so this is sacrifice. And so it may be like a guinea fowl and some type of food and some money, um, or just depending on your situation. Like if you are infertile and trying to uh, get pregnant, then it'll be something different. It could be a goat. It could be um, like they even use like monkey heads, and monkey heads. Yeah. So um, that part, I'm a little squeamish about. To be completely honest, I have never done it myself, and uh, I don't know if my mind is such that I could do something like that without a guilty conscious because I, you know, um, even before I started um, walking this path of spirituality that I've been walking, I jumped out of Christianity at 16 and started moving down this winding path. But even all the way back then, like this all borders on because back then I was like, no, I was considering doing this, but I can't. There's not a way that I can like I cannot do it. That doesn't mean I don't. That doesn't mean I get upset when other people do it because I understand why it's done. I do. I understand why it's done, and some people can't, but I do. It is life force. It is uh, and that is not to say you just slaughter an animal and throw it away. What happens is the animal is slaughtered and then given to people who, some of it is eaten by the priests and priestess, but the rest of it is given to someone who is less fortunate. So they do have food. Um, y- you know, um, Still, it doesn't mean I can do any kind of animal sacrifice. So what I do is I continue to stick to my river sacrifices, weekly. Well, it hasn't been weekly recently, but it's been bi-weekly, bi-monthly, something. I don't know what that's called. Like once every 2 weeks. So I'm going to start changing that to once every week. The problem is I can't drive, so because I don't have my glasses. I usually wear glasses. Y'all probably have never seen me in glasses. Well, yes, you have. If you've seen my lives before December 11th of last year, I was wearing glasses. If you've seen my lives after December 11th of last year, you've never seen me in glasses. Because once I had my surgery, the shape of my face changed, and my glasses won't fit on my face anymore. So I had to wait until the insurance renewed so I can get an eye exam. The insurance renewed this month, so I can go out and get an eye exam. I just have to wait, until Egg gets back. The eye exam's not a problem. Not By the way, I almost failed my last eye exam. If you remember, if y'all have taken eye exams before, you have to read the letters. Um, there is one line um, that had like 4 or 5 letters, so maybe 5 letters, and I couldn't read. I think I missed all except for two, and she said if I had missed two, like those two, then I would have not been able to drive. I would have failed my driver's test because I'm that close to being blind, legally blind. Um, so now that being said, she seems to think that she can find some glasses that can help correct my vision. My optometrist. I don't know if that's true, and she's just trying to sell me some glasses. Um, like my eyes, it's so yeah. I can't see. I have keratoconus, and do I have anything else? Keratoconus? No, keratoconus. Keratoconus. Yeah, I think that's it. Keratoconus. But what I can't put in contacts. I did one time. I actually bought contacts. What they tell me is contacts would actually help better than glasses. I tried contacts. I bought them once. I was shown how to put them in. I put them in at the optometrist, and I was like, okay, cool, I can do this. Went home, put them in, and had them in for about 2 hours. I was like, okay, this is bothering me. Let me take these out. I got this one out. This one got stuck. It was stuck in there for 6 hours. My eye was bleeding. Um, I couldn't get it out. Egg couldn't get it out. Um, it just wouldn't come out. Finally, it just slipped out, but that's because my eye was swollen and bleeding, and it was pretty disgusting. From that point on, I decided I wasn't going to wear contacts. It didn't matter what they said. And I haven't, just because I can't. It was crazy for me. It didn't feel good. I'm scared to put contacts in my eyes now. Um, they did say that a blended contact would maybe help. No, not a blended contact. Well, yeah, I think they did say that. So it's a contact where it's soft on the inside and hard on the outside on the perimeter. So that way it helps with the bulging of the cornea. Um, but if I remember correctly, they have to make each one, to specification, and each one will be $1,000. And insurance does not pay for that. And this is $1,000 for one contact. And this does not mean that it's basically $1,000 for one contact that I can for. So I would pay $2,000 for contacts that I can wear for, I think, like 6 months to 8 months, and then I would have to go through the process all over again. So, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to wear glasses, and I will, do what the bad thing is that glasses can be so expensive. The glasses that I like are expensive. My last pair of glasses were the frames and lenses all together, $800. $800. $800. So I've decided that I may need to look like kind of geeky for a little bit, because I'm not paying like $600 for some frames anymore. My frames were $600. The rest was the lenses, and the specification of them, and the slimming down, and the all the other stuff they put on, um, the lenses and whatever they did. But yeah, so I need to find um, uh, another good pair of frames that's not super expensive. I have some purple frames, so I may use those. They're cat eyes, and my black ones were cat eyes too. I just don't know how they would work on my face. I've got the fat right here, that I didn't have like in the last after my surgery. I have all this because this is my scar right here from surgery. Um, but I have all the extra weight because, my medication. I was like, like it hit me. I was like, why do I have all this extra weight on me? So I've gained, like, seriously, from December to now, like, close to 70 pounds. Well, close to 60 pounds. Let's not throw that extra 10 in there. Close to 60 pounds, which is way too much. And yeah, I'm not super active. I'm not like a rugby player or walk every day, like 5 miles active. But I'm also not like like sit on the couch all day and all night and then go to bed passive. Um, it is the medication. Like, I was taking, and I am taking, so I was taking Seroquel. And Seroquel, if you know anything about Seroquel, it is a wonderful drug for me. For me, it is absolutely the best drug, for my bipolar disorder. But it also makes you gain weight, or at least it makes me gain weight. Like a grip, like a shitload. So, like, the last time I took Seroquel, probably, mm, when it first came out, because it wasn't called quetiapine yet. It was called Seroquel because that was the brand name. It didn't go generic. I took it and I gained like 90 pounds. I stopped taking it, and it took like a year, but I lost the weight. So I'm hoping that's going to be the same thing, that I can lose some weight a little bit easier. Another good thing is that, I used to have, like, so all of a sudden, out of the blue, my legs started swelling. My legs, my ankles, and my feet started swelling. So edema. and I didn't know why. Um, I couldn't point to any one reason. Egg couldn't point to any one reason. It just happened one day, and so I've had edema for the last bit, like last 6, 7, 8, 9 months. And then, all of a sudden yesterday, I'm wearing compression socks, whatever they're called. And yesterday I checked my legs, the edema's gone. It's just gone. Like it's completely gone. So I'm trying to figure out how it came and how it left, like without me even noticing. Like I don't remember doing anything, but the my doctor that I went to did say, just this is the prescription, wear the compression stockings. I was like, what the fuck ever. I don't know if this is going to really help. I will do it just because you said to do it. And what do you know? It did work. And, or at least I think it helped. But yeah, so I will still wear compression stockings, but I don't, the point is that I don't need to anymore. I can go back to wearing my fun socks. Um, I have some cute socks that I like to wear, so I'm going to wear those. Yeah. So, ooh, 56, 56. Okay. Um, I think I may be cutting this off right now. I really wanted to jump on here, like I said, to check and see if there's something wrong with my recording. Because I was live last night with Samantha Page, and we can't find that video anywhere. It's almost like it didn't exist, except for people who were live with us, and Autumn Rose and Kitty, who were able to watch it last night after the show. Sammy and I can't find it anywhere, and so who knows where it is. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else? You know what just hit my head? Let me make sure. Let me just look and see who's in here first. Okay. I won't. Nah, I better not say this. No, no. Okay. Zip lip. Let me just say I have a new fixation, a new person fixation. Oh, what video? Hey, Fat. The video that I'm talking about is the live that I did last night with Samantha Page. We did a live with Kitty Marks about gambling, and at the end of that live, Samantha talked about Autumn Rose, who is the actual co-host of the show. Yeah, so Autumn Rose is sick. She has stage 4 cancer. So she was not able to be live, but she was in the comments last night. And like I said, she was able to see the show after we finished. I like it said 9 minutes for processing, and it did not process. No, I'm sorry, it said 19 minutes for processing, and it didn't process. So we don't know where it went, but yeah, no. The thing I was going to say is about a Substacker that I admire a lot, which I fear is turning into something more than admiration, which happened from the very beginning because this person is just smoking, like absolutely beautiful. And this person has beautiful skin, beautiful voice, and they are extremely smart, extremely well read, extremely knowledgeable in areas that I like them to be knowledgeable in. Their beliefs match up to mine. Now I'm married happily. Egg is my partner, so I'm happily married. That does not mean I I am immune to people. And I this person is just beautiful. And so I like to just, I stalk their page every once in a while and watch their lives. It's nice. I live that dream inside my head. They're beautiful, like really beautiful. Like y'all don't know who I'm talking about, but if you did, I think most of y'all would agree with me. I think a lot of people in here know this person I'm talking about, but I will not say their name. Um, y'all, I really want to, but it'll get back to them, and I don't want any kind of friction like that. So let me just say that they are beautiful, in every way that I know of them. Um, I have not seen. Now, of course, I don't know this person outside of Substack, so I can't really tell you 100%. But just from, I did like a little baby stalk, a little baby stalking. I looked this person up outside of Substack. So, but I wish. No, never mind. Anyway, so it's 101. Perfect. I'm gonna say goodbye, y'all. This is how I close. No trash, no transphobia, no racism, no ableism, no sexism, no homophobia, no Islamophobia, no xenophobia, land back, reparations, no borders, fuck Trump, fuck ICE, fuck cancer. I love you, Autumn. Have a good day. Bye.